Hello, and welcome to the daily Black Desert News. Yes. So there's been a lot of news lately. A lot of news. They had I think one or two conferences lately in Korea where they babbled a lot about the Black Desert, and also been just stuff happening with the English version lately. For instance, they released media, I think 1 or 2 weeks ago, which is pretty soon after the release of the game. So that's pretty neat. Pretty neat. The dev said that in general they're targeting by summertime to only be 1 or 2 months behind the Korean version. So I think that's a nice goal. I'm gonna go through stuff like there's been this is information from interviews and Korean conferences. So that means some of this is translated and might not be 100% accurate. So I'll just start going through this list. So Siege Warfare was something they were supposed to add in April, but it has been pushed back. On the other hand, the Musa and Maiwa classes will be added sometime in April soonish. That's the blader and female blader. They're called Musa and Maiwa in the English version.
Oh.
Which I think
Musa. Sorry.
I think that's the Korean words for those classes. I think. Not completely sure. Korean is confusing to me.
I was gonna say Musa fucker, like motherfucker, but then I decided not to. So that's a joke that I didn't make.
I am very glad you didn't make that, aquamatey. That would be really inappropriate.
Thank you.
And oh yeah, it's a random map you can find on the table somewhere in the game. Ninja and Kunoichi classes will be added in May. And they'll add Valencia sometime in June.
Oh.
So pretty soon. They're considering to add a system where you can get pets via quests rather than only having it locked behind the cash shop. And they admit that the RNG system with how you buy dice is kinda bad, but changing it will take time.
But they do want to change it.
Yeah, they do want to change it.
Good.
Yeah, because
That'd be nice.
I think I spent $5 or $10 on dice the other day trying to get colors I wanted, and I didn't get the colors. It was kind of annoying.
Oh.
So
It is pretty sad that you buy you want to buy I'd like a nice blue dye, and you try to buy, you spend money on it, and you end up getting green or purple.
Yeah, or you want specific shades. Like for instance, I wanted a very specific shade of purple, like this kind of subdued dark purple, but I kept getting neon pink and colors like that. It's just that's different. That's what I want. That's very different. And they say that they will not be adding the Mai Shiranui outfit in the Japanese version to other regions because of copyright reasons, which is a little bit sad because that was a pretty neat outfit.
Eh.
There is currently the cherry blossom event going on, cherry blossom tree, and there's an outfit that's along with it.
Oh.
Yeah, that is a pretty neat outfit. I think that's only available for a short amount of time.
Is it only for specific classes, or?
I think it's for all the female classes. And they also recently bragged a little bit about how well the game is doing. Apparently, more than 100,000 people are playing it daily. And if you were to compare that to Steam, that would make it within the top 3 Steam games, I think, when it comes to activity. That's
kind of crazy.
Yeah. And they've said more than 400,000 copies have sold so far, and actually, these numbers are they are exceeding the numbers that of the Korean version. So that's pretty interesting.
Oh, wow.
Well, I guess the Korean population is considerably smaller, maybe. But Korea is a pretty small place, although there's a lot of people there. But
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, USA, Europe, they're pretty big places, fairly big-ish. I think there's 1 or 2 people living there.
Spot the horse.
Which one of these is not a cow? None of them, because they're all cows.
That horse is actually pretty good. That's the fastest tier 6 horse. I have it. I'm being very humble right now. It's my horse. Yes, it is. Humble. Me.
No.
My horse.
There he is riding a cow.
Cocky bastard. Look, when when Sectus and I ask Sectus, like, hey, I'm about to do red nose boss. Want to join me? And he's like, sure. I'm like, okay, I'll be there in 50 minutes because I'm across, like, I'm in Media or something. And he's just sitting there waiting on his stupid horse because he's been there for hours because it takes him 5 seconds.
It's
That's
so
what it's like.
fast. It's so cool.
He challenged me to a race and won in like 5 seconds.
It's so cool. I need it to be better though. Like, it need better skill. It only has instant acceleration as a good skill right now. I mean, that's only really good. I want better. I want like sprint and drift and everything, and two-seater and everything.
What? Is that fast without sprint?
Yeah.
Yeah. I know this. He raced me, and I had a head start as well.
Aw.
We should just have this entire podcast be about my horse. By the way, this is the cherry blossom trees they added in the event.
Oh,
They're really
so
pretty.
Yeah, they look really
Ah.
neat.
I love the shadows that they add. Like when you're riding on this road, I think between Heidel and Calphion, although I think that's Media in that direction. But it's kind of like you're under a little canvas of trees, which is not normally there.
Yeah.
Like they add a bigger shadow effect, and it's really pretty to ride through. I hope they stay in the game all spring.
And this is one thing they should fix in the game. Like, for some reason, since the English launch, there's been a big shadow bug in the game, which makes some shadows look weird, and the water look black sometimes. And I would like to see that
Oh, that's
fixed.
water?
Yeah, this
Oh,
is
I
water.
see it now.
It's just
Oh, okay.
black. It's not supposed to be black.
Ah.
Okay, I think I'll move on to the main part of the podcast because there were news about the English version, but there's also been a huge bunch of news about the Korean version of upcoming content for this year and next year. So I assume you all can read Korean, so you all know what this means. Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
This means Nude Mod will be available publicly tomorrow for everyone who plays male characters. That's what it says.
Okay, so for instance, they'll be adding a new continent, which is up there.
Oh.
And it's gonna be
What?
pretty huge. It's gonna be pretty big.
What?
Boat trip.
So does that mean So this is what we have now. This is
Yeah, this is
Dalanos and Calphion and Media and Valencia.
and the like areas below the clouds aren't available yet, basically.
So this means that like they're actually going to expand the map because
Oh
like,
yeah,
as of right now, like right here, I think there's a border that you can't even.
yeah,
Like,
that's
there's
true.
no graphic for it. It's just a border.
Yeah, I think if you were to like zoom out in the map in game, you would basically see this. I think this would roughly equal to the board in the game.
Oh.
But yeah, they
Yeah.
gonna add another continent up here, so that's gonna make things interesting.
That's
Nice.
gonna make it massive. That's
I wonder what this will
awesome.
be. Like a tornado kind of thing.
There's already
hurricane.
hurricanes in the game, which
Yeah.
I like a lot.
Yeah.
And they've mentioned that yeah, I mean, as you can see, you have to travel to the new continent via boat, and when you're in the open ocean, it'll work the same way as in the desert, where you can't see your exact position on the map.
I love that. That's awesome. It's like the Bermuda Triangle.
Oh yeah, this is probably the Bermuda Triangle. There we go.
That is so cool.
Will a boat's durability last that long, or will they need a new boat?
I think they would actually last that long. It takes ages for a boat to go to zero durability.
Okay.
Yeah.
And they've also mentioned that really good fishing spots will be highlighted by seagulls flying over it.
Huh.
Oh, that's cute. That's like a Wind Waker.
Yeah.
I personally really hope it's possible to shoot down the seagulls, so I can just keep the spot to
Oh.
myself. And because I hate seagulls.
Racist.
That'd be pretty funny. You should actually
You're
take a
gonna
gun
rent a
with you and shoot
rifle
them.
like this.
Hmm?
Are you gonna rent a rifle?
Always. I should craft one rifle. Like, that's something you can do in the Korean version, which you can't do in the English version yet because they haven't added all the hunting elements yet. And more new stuff includes underwater areas.
What?
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 Oh.
Underwater areas.
They're actually gonna add the ability to like have snorkeling stuff where breathe underwater or stay underwater for more than 5 seconds.
Yes. Yeah, they're gonna add these large underwater areas where you can find treasures. So that's pretty
Oh my
cool.
god! I think
Treasure.
we need to go back to your earlier
So
podcast because I
cool.
think maybe we talked about things we would like to see in the game in the future, and I'm pretty sure I mentioned like being able to swim underwater for longer than 5 seconds,
Yeah, I think you
or
talked about
having
that.
underwater mechanics or something.
We'll actually get to see fishies for once instead of just catching them in our inventory.
But the game is so beautiful. Like, just I'm sorry, I can't stop talking because it's gonna be so pretty. Like underwater
Wonder-
aesthetics. It's so beautiful.
I can't. I mean, I would assume this is concept art, right?
I assume so.
Probably.
But if they make it look like this, that would look pretty good, I think.
And the
I wonder-
lighting.
Looks very blue. Looks very blue.
I
All the
wonder if
blue.
we'll need any light source, like instead of a lantern, we need anything else. In dark areas.
They did mention that you will need some kind of gear to swim underwater like this. But yeah,
I'm so happy.
this looks pretty neat, and they're gonna add pew pew boats. Pew pew
Oh my
boats.
god.
Oh.
No! They're
No.
gonna break my boat. People are gonna PvP on the oceans and they're gonna shoot my boat.
Don't worry, Saito, just make a cannon. Make a cannon and take it on your fishing boat.
Okay.
So yeah, well, speaking of bad PvP news, warships can be obtained via a guild house apparently, and I don't know if we'll ever be able to big enough to get a guild house from yeah.
Oh.
I guess we'll just avoid people
Aw.
in the open sea. But yeah, they're gonna add like fancy big ships with cannons and pew pew.
I would love us all to just sit on one of those big ships
That's pretty cool.
and sail to the new area.
And
Do you think this? Sorry. Do you think the underwater area? Do you think that means they're gonna add underwater combat, like swimming combat?
it was not mentioned in these notes, and I would kind of hope not, because are there many games which has done underwater combat well? It just seems like it would potentially be really awkward.
I know Guild Wars 2 had underwater combat.
Did you try it?
It was
there?
kind of interesting. I didn't really like it that much. It was interesting though.
They would, like at the very least, they would have to overhaul the current controls for underwater movement, because combat just wouldn't work with the current controls, I think.
Well, I definitely think from the looks of it, if you're gonna be able to like spend a lot of time underwater, they're gonna have an overhaul for how swimming.
They would
Works.
definitely, at the very least, need to fix some of the bugs, like for instance, teleporting to the bottom of the ocean floor.
Yeah.
Would there,
Oh boy.
would there be any underwater enemies then?
I don't
If
know.
there is no combat?
I'm assuming there would be. If you're gonna be able to explore like in these pictures, I'm assuming they'd have to add some kind of danger.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess we'll just have to see. There aren't much information right now about how they're gonna handle the underwater stuff, and based on these concept arts, it doesn't look like there's any like hostile enemies there. But we'll see.
This is so exciting. I'll spend a lot of time just exploring in the water.
Yeah, it'll be fun, I think. And like more opportunities, just spend all your time taking screenshots in the game.
Yeah.
Underwater screenshot.
They'll also add new ships which specialize on trading.
Huh.
I would assume they're also like biggish ships, hopefully. And they will add one new life profession, which is sailing.
Oh, good. So
nice.
you'll actually like get experience and stuff while you're using your boat.
Be a
Something like that.
pirate.
So
Every-
I guess it would be similar to training with horses and stuff.
I don't know. It's possible it'll work in a similar way.
What if there's like an underwater city? Like, what if you can actually own a house underwater?
That'd be pretty neat. I have a hard time seeing how that would work.
That'd be so cool.
Might
Own a
potentially,
house.
it might be potentially really awkward. Like, okay, I'm now gonna go underwater. I'm gonna visit my house. I can only be there for 10 minutes. That's how long my character can hold their breath. They have revealed a bunch of the new awakened weapons for other classes. So, for instance, the ninja will get a whole bunch of different swords. 5 swords in total.
Oh, jeez.
Wow.
5? Wow.
Yeah. Apparently, they will have a move where they will be using all the swords at the same time. I have no idea how that'll work.
I guess
They're
they'll
gonna use
juggle
their
it.
feet. and their mouth.
like Bayonetta.
Or their butt.
I wasn't gonna say that, but you said it for me.
Okay, well, so the next thing is for the kunoichi, which is a big hula hoop.
Oh my god, her butt.
Wow.
That's like Soul Calibur person's weapon thing. I
Yeah,
can't
it's kind
remember
of
her
similar to Tira's weapon.
Yeah.
name. That's a lot
pretty
of
cool.
skin around the butt. Just saying.
Apparently, she will get a lot of acrobatic moves with hula hoop.
Wait, does she have a tail?
Looks like it.
I think that's
Oh
her
no,
hair.
that's her hair.
Oh, it's that long. Okay.
Yeah. Looks like a tail though.
You know, I don't know. I think it might be a tail. It kind of looks like the hair reaches here, and this.
Hmm.
I think
Oh,
it might be a
actually,
tail. They already have one outfitted in the game, which adds a
What's this
small blue
black
tail.
thing? Oh, she has a
There's
sword as well.
Sword.
Yeah, that's
She's
a normal.
pooping.
It's not coming from her butt.
Please
so,
edit that out.
there we go. That'll do. You can do what you want with that edit.
Everything. We're restarting the podcast here. This is
Oh,
horrible. We're
No.
going back.
No!
Go
No!
home.
I think
Continue.
that's a what's it called, scabbard?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I mean, like she has a normal sword normally, and this is like an added weapon. So yeah,
Okay.
the same way. Like there's 4 new swords, but it still has a normal sword, so that becomes 5 in total.
Is that the ninja? Did you say?
Yeah.
Yeah. This is ninja.
Okay.
This is kunoichi. This is the female ninja basically.
I'm a kanoichi.
Okay.
Okay, moving on.
Is she holding that by the blade?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks like it.
Ah.
I have never touched a sword in my life, but I have heard that it is possible to hold the edge in a way which is safe. So I don't know.
Oh. Okay.
So the wizard will be getting the ability to summon golems and spirits with fire and water magic as his awakened weapon.
Huh.
Will he get the
Cool.
ability to be less old?
I think he's still old. I'm sorry. I think he's still old. I don't see them changing that because they would also just have to update like most of his
model.
animations, his voice.
Yeah.
They would have to change a lot if you're gonna make him
I
young.
don't see it happening either.
But speaking of not old, the witch will be getting a different playstyle with earth and lightning magic.
Wait, so the witch will get earth and lightning, and the wizard will get
Fire and
water
water, yeah.
and fire?
Yeah, they're actually getting different awakened weapons.
That's
a
pretty
lot
cool.
That's a lot of cleavage.
It sounds like the wizard will focus on summoning things as part of his awakened weapon. They didn't mention specifically what the witch will do, but maybe it's just like straightforward spells, just make everything explode. I would be okay with that. I like
This
things
looks
going cool.
like Healy stuff.
I think my favorite spells for the witch so far have been the lightning spells, so that's pretty cool that she'll get lightning stuff. But I'm interested to see what the water spells will be like, because there's not really any. There's ice spells, but there's not really water spells yet, are there?
No, yeah. Well, I mean, it is possible this is actually supposed to be ice. I mean, remember, this is all
Oh.
just stuff which is translated, and I kind of doubt
true.
all of these translations are accurate. And this summer, they will be adding this region to the game.
Huh.
I think it's called Sylvia Camara, and it is a region where the Sylvia elves are. It'll apparently feature a new world boss similar to Zaka. I can't remember who Zaka is. I think that's like a boss which is in a dungeon which is stupidly powerful.
Do you think there's any chance that that region will come along with the male ranger? Because he's an elf?
I was gonna mention that.
There's no mention of the male ranger in all of these notes, so I guess not. It is weird. Like the male ranger was teased, I think January 2013. In like I think it was the second trailer ever released for the game. They showed off the male ranger, and since then they haven't mentioned him at all. So it's weird. It's weird.
He did exist, but I guess there was an interview with them where they said it's not going to happen, more or less, right? Or maybe they just changed their minds about it. I wish I had that interview because I
Yeah,
then I
although
could
I
actually
think
quote
I
it.
remember the interview. I think that question and answer was just about like opposite genders in general for classes. I don't think they
Maybe.
specifically were talking about the male ranger. I don't know. It was also an interview with Dom Yu, and like they're not the developer of the game, so maybe they don't even have like all of the most up to date information about future plans.
That's true. And I think maybe I can actually summarize what they said with that question, but it was more or less like they don't want to just copy and paste classes to have a male and female version. They actually want there to be differences.
Yeah, I think a good indication is the witch and wizard like their playstyles is almost identical, but with different awakened weapons, they will actually be different now.
Yeah. Which I think is pretty cool. Not to just copy and paste a male and female class.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think I already think like I feel like this has kind of been my own personal opinion so far because I think maybe people haven't agreed with me, but I think Valkyrie and Warrior have been very different.
Hmm.
And maybe it's just an aesthetic thing. Maybe they're fighting styles. I haven't actually tried Valkyrie, so I can't really say for
Well,
myself.
I've played it as both, and they are similar, but they also have some very specific differences. Like the Valkyrie has a bunch of spells, and I don't think the Warrior has no spells at all.
She has spells?
Yeah,
Yeah.
she has a healing
Hmm.
spell. She has a spell which like causes lightning to happen around her.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, I need to try Valkyrie then. That sounds actually pretty cool. Does she have the I think it's actually called meditation or something like that, where the warrior will consume health to get uh I always forget what this is called, but it's like his fighting points back.
I can't remember, but they do share some skills. Like for instance, the skill to like pick up and slam an enemy into the ground. That one is basically
Okay.
identical.
So Sus mentioned something when he played Valkyrie about getting his like his power up meter thing back using a skill. I can't remember.
Okay, maybe that's what I'm talking about then, where you
It's
consume
like
HP.
the mana thing.
I
Yeah.
guess.
I think a lot of her skills will just automatically regenerate mana as you use them.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what a warrior does too, for the most part. Sorry. Anyway, keep going.
Yeah, so this new region will feature a lot of lush green environments, kind of like these. I wish I had these in higher resolution. And also, on a similar note, they should just release a huge artwork for this game. I would buy that in an instant because a lot
Oh God.
like this, like all of the concept art for the game, it's just so good. It's so good. It's so good.
I like the waterfall.
Look at that waterfall. Look at that waterfall.
That that looks like a place in the Lord of the Rings. I can't remember where that place is called though.
Actually, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
The elf place, the good elves, not the mean elves.
It's been such
Anyway,
a long time since I saw that movie, but I think I know what you're talking about.
yeah.
Speaking of good elves and bad elves, they will expand upon the region later to have to the region which have the dark elves in the game, which is like dark environments and everything.
Oh.
Less happy,
Is
less
that
green.
is that going to be like similar to Isn't there a place in Valencia where there's a town where only negative karma people can go safely?
Yeah, that's true. I would be kind of surprised if like all of this would function that way, but who knows? Kind of hard to
That was
tell.
really cool though.
So I think this green area would include both the regions, like the happy elves and the dark elves. I don't know which part is which
Happy
of
elves.
this green area. And speaking of happy elves and dark elves is a new class.
Oh.
Oh.
What?
Yeah, they can add this as a new class with a big sword thing.
That is an amazing sword.
It's a new class?
Yeah, this is all the concept art we have so far, so hopefully there's also a male version, but I haven't seen any mention of it.
I like the idea though.
I'm curious what kind of combat that would be, because it's got a blade, I guess?
It's like a great sword thing.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Well, I'm glad they're talking about a new class and new areas.
Yeah.
Yeah, and this is also pretty soon. Like they'll be adding this area this summer.
And underwater.
Nice.
They haven't
And
mentioned
I guess
when underwater will be added.
by summer they said they want it to be pretty close to the Korean version, right?
Yeah.
For the European and English, I guess.
They said by summertime they want to be at most 1 or 2 months behind the Korean version. So that would mean we would get this 2 months or so after the Korean version, I would assume.
So like
That's
in the
not
fall,
bad.
I guess. Yeah, that's not bad.
Yeah, that sounds pretty good.
Does this come with that region then? Do you think?
I would assume the class comes with the dark elf part of this
Yeah.
region, and we will get the first part of this region in summer, and who knows when the second part will arrive. And again, like, this is based on like translated information, so bits and pieces of this could entirely be wrong. Like this, like maybe this is not a new class at all. Who knows? It's an NPC. They're making a huge deal out of one new NPC.
Maybe that's who they're going to replace the NPC by the warehouse in Valia with.
This is actually just like a normal vendor. Potions, get the potions here.
Does she bargain?
Do
in-
it
in her
better.
I'll get hurt if you keep doing that.
Don't interrupt me.
The English voice acting is painful, by the way.
Is she,
Yeah, I
is,
turned
she,
that off.
is she gonna go squeak?
Probably.
That's her combat noise. Squeak! Wake! Quick! Wake!
And later this year, they'll be adding this region, which features. This is apparently a region like dwarves used to live in, but now it has dwarves, giants, and elves.
Wow.
That reminds me
So-
of the Merlin books, like the Lost Years of Merlin.
So this is the base game Media Valencia?
Yeah, this is Balanos, Calpheon, Media, Valencia.
Valencia is big, wow.
Altanova is right here, I think, because Altanova was the island between Media and
Yeah.
Valencia.
Like,
Yeah.
this is.
that's Altanova.
Ah, my eyes.
You try to focus on that?
I would assume.
God.
I would assume this is part of Valencia. I don't know if they've added this yet or not. I have no idea.
I kind of remember there
Wait.
being a pretty big island.
Is this Arch Island then? Or
Yeah,
is
this is
Archer Island?
the.
This is it?
This is Ilia
Okay.
Island.
Yeah, this
This
is here.
is-
This exists.
So this is Dark Elf Land?
Yeah, this is the land of the happy and dark elves. And this is what we really want. This is the snowy area. And they haven't said anything about it yet.
Has there been any snow in the game at all? Ever?
Well, they had
Yeah.
a winter event in the Korean version where they just made everything be snowy now and then. It was really, really cool.
I liked the snow.
I have a video of snow on my YouTube channel.
Wait. So they've talked about like all this new stuff, all these new areas of the new class, but they didn't even mention the snowy stuff.
They didn't mention it at all.
Huh.
So it will not come this year, I think. But yeah,
No.
No,
No.
it's been so long. They talked about it. Like, come on, give it to
yeah,
us.
yeah. Again, like with the male ranger, they briefly showed the snowy area in that second trailer from early 2013. We still haven't had any more info about it, but
Oh,
we'll get
no.
it eventually.
You know what? I really, really like that all these announcements have suddenly happened because it's like these are not just new areas, but it's really, really different environments and a new class. And like, most I think most games when they add new areas, it's not really a big deal like this. Like this is just really different.
It is.
Water, underwater, and that's cool.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think another point is that the way Black Desert works, it's not like the typical MMO thing where you have like region A, which is meant for like level 10 to level 20, region B, which is
Mhm.
meant for like level 20 to level 30, and then you never ever go back to the previous areas. Like Black Desert is created in a way where you have a reason to go back to previous areas. So that just means like the overall play area will just eventually become absolutely freaking gigantic.
I'm level 30 and I'm still in like Valia and Hydel.
And it's like
But yeah, I still like even I'm level 50 and I still go back to Valia and Hydel a lot.
yeah. And I just want to like repeat the scale thing. Like for instance, like this look blurry, but I think this ish is what we have right now in the English version, and
Mhm.
it'll become this, like all of this,
You-
with another continent up here.
Yeah.
You mismade,
Yeah.
You mismade, yeah.
Hmm?
You
I
didn't-
did?
You didn't show media.
It was there. No,
Yeah,
no.
yeah.
What's this bit?
Hmm?
What's this bit?
Whoa. This
What's
is
this
another
bit?
part of media. I don't think we have that yet.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
I guess that's the thing which is worth mentioning. We don't actually have all of media, so I think they'll like have media part 2, then they'll add Valencia in June.
Yeah, there's also the Pirate Islands that we don't really have yet. too.
Yeah, which is there.
But yeah, like Sectus is saying, I think it's like that's something unique to Black Desert. Like all this stuff, all the new areas that they add, they're not really disconnected. Like you'll still go around to all the areas that exist, but it's not really disconnected. Like you are not going to just move on to these new areas and
Yeah.
then never come back to what exists already.
Yeah.
Can
Like
you,
it's a really cohesive design.
can you zoom in this sort of region? How do I get from Media to Valencia then? If there's a
There's a
big
bridge.
river
There's a
involved?
bridge right there. If you zoom
Oh,
in,
this?
you zoom in here, you can see the bridge. So you see these 2
uh,
pixels here. That's a bridge. That's a bridge.
These pixels.
Yeah. Also, I just realized I'm wrong. I think media part 2 is actually this, and I think it was also the Pirate Islands. I think this bit might not be available yet. I have no idea what it is. I don't know.
I don't really remember what that is too.
Hmm.
That's another thing. Like Black Desert doesn't really do these as expansions. Like you don't have to pay for any of these areas. Like
Oh,
this
yeah.
is not something separate that some people are gonna have access to and then other people aren't. Like this is still the open world
Yeah,
that anyone can get to.
that's a pretty important point that I haven't even written down. They have said like all the expansion stuff will be 100% completely free. As long as you paid for the base game, you will be getting all of this.
I love that.
That is pretty fucking spectacular.
That
Because
is, yeah,
excuse the language, but that's pretty crazy compared to other games. Like you are not paying for any of this extra content that they're releasing.
You can play as our next class if you pay $50 for our next DLC. Ooh.
yeah. All of the new classes that will also be available for free. So that is kind of
Yeah.
crazy, value-wise. That does mean though that most likely the cash shop will probably stay kind of expensive-ish, but I think it's a fair trade. I think it's a fair trade.
Yeah.
Like there's a couple of costumes which are really expensive if you want to buy them, but on the other hand, like all of this will just be free. Like the content which really matters will be free.
I think that's what I was reading about complaints about the cash shop, how people said like you can buy the game and then all the content's free. Like then you can just pay for the cash shop if you want to.
Yeah. So back to what we were talking about like hours ago about this blue area they'll be adding later this year. So this is a little bit of concept art of that, and like they had a brief mention of apparently you can like somehow like decide the relationship between the different factions in this area, but it was kind of hard to tell how like what that actually means.
Hmm.
And in other news, right now in the Korean version you can get horses up to tier 8, but they'll be adding tier 9 horses. It's like a hell horse thing.
Whoa.
Shit.
Oh.
So
Is that fire?
yeah, this is the I think it's called Hell Horse in the translated notes. So the tier 9 horses work in a very different way. Instead of being faster, they will be getting unique skills. So for instance, this fire Hell Horse thing will like leave a trail of fire behind it as it runs, and that can damage enemies, it sounds like.
What? That's so
That's awesome.
cool. That's gonna look amazing too.
Yeah.
Imagine that in a race.
Really unfair
Get your
race.
fucking cow away from me, Zach. Sectus's cow is gonna just like his ability is not gonna be fire, but he's just gonna poop everywhere. Like cow poop. He's gonna leave a trail of cow poop.
There's also this horse.
Holy!
What?
Can it fly?
This is the Pegasus horse, which can glide from high places safely.
Oh, I thought it was
Oh
gonna be
my
like the first
God.
flying mount.
It may potentially look kind of like this. Gliding. It will not look like that. It's not flying up.
Is there no flying sideways?
You mean for the puppets in the podcast too? There is not.
But sorry, wait. This is actually a step towards the idea that there actually might be flying mounts at some point. Like you might actually be able to fly.
I'll be curious if they add that because it would. I mean, on one side it would be cool. On the other hand, like it might make ground travel just completely obsolete, which might be kind of bad.
Yeah, I was gonna say, would that be kind of overpowered for like, I don't know how hard it is to get whatever it is that can fly.
That's kind of hard to imagine too. Like, what would that even look like? Would you just see people randomly flying around on horses? Or
But
what?
I would be okay with some kind of like limited form of flying, just to be able to see the world from above. I think just seeing the world from above would be really cool.
Yeah,
Ride
that's a
a
good point.
baby dragon.
Ooh,
But yeah, this horse
dragons.
can glide, not fly.
That's something that actually has been mentioned in the game. Like, there's actually dragons that exist.
Yeah, there's a flying one near
Above
one of the
Calpheon.
fortresses.
What?
I wonder if they're gonna make a bigger deal about dragons at some point.
We'll see. Unicorn.
Holy shit, more.
So I think the translated notes were kind of wrong here because it mentioned the unicorn can buff enemies, and I don't think that's correct. I'm gonna say that's wrong.
Maybe debuff?
I'm gonna say either debuff enemies or buff party members. It also mentions that it has a. What did you say?
I was just saying party members might as well be enemies.
It also mentioned that it has a powerful charge attack with its horn thing, unicorn thing.
Maximum penetration.
This is an illustration of how the charge attack might be.
Wait, I have a horse that charges right now, and it's really cool, actually.
I
Like,
think-
sometimes when I'm riding around Olvia, sometimes I'll just charge into the little bugs on the ground.
I don't think
It's pretty cool. What?
I don't think I even saw Sectus's crown when he did that. I just saw orange fly by.
I like that they're doing a lot of different things with mounts, though. Like, that's not something I really expected them to do.
I think this is a really good way of introducing another tier, because it would get a little bit ridiculous if they just made them faster and faster, and that would just make people stuck with lower tier horses a little bit sad, because it is really hard to get to the higher tiers. I think this is a really cool way of handling it.
I like the
Yeah.
material of all the horses on their hair. It's all different as well. Like they all have their different like variations.
Do you guys think there will be a hell horse which looks like a cow?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yeah. That's what you really want. What if you can run into hell horses? What if there's actually going to be a hellish area that they add later?
Maybe
Where
in the
things are on
dark
fire.
elf place
That
or
could be.
something.
But what if when you try to tame a hell horse, it just explodes and tries to kill you?
Or a magical horse that can run underwater.
Or if you try to tame a Pegasus, it just flies away with you.
yeah, when you throw the lasso around it, it just starts flying.
you're just swinging in the air
That'd be pretty funny.
during the spacebar minigame.
Imagine Gar's character being dragged through the sky like that.
There's more news from the Korean stuff. They have mentioned voice chat will be added, and that feature is almost complete.
Oh, yikes.
Wow.
I will be
turning
turning
that
that off.
Yeah. Leave me alone.
I have played enough online games to know that it's not really worthwhile talking voice chat with strangers ever.
Yeah.
They mentioned, there's no details about this, but they mentioned they're gonna restructure how the awakened skills work in the game. Like, this is not the awakened weapons, but the awakened skills. Once you reach level 50, you can get a better version of certain skills in a weird way. I haven't done that in ages. I can't remember.
I've done that, yeah. That kind of... I don't know if that's something that they're going to change, but once you get to level 50, you can... I think by default, you have 3 different skills that you can choose to add. Awakening them just adds a buff. I think it's a random buff that they'll get. One of my skills as a warrior is a charge skill. So eventually, initially I'll just do one attack, and then if you hold down the left mouse button, you'll do 2 additional attacks. So for that attack specifically, the buff that I got by awakening that skill was it will add a burning effect to it. So if I attack certain enemies with that, it will it will give them a burn effect. So I don't know if that's like other attacks, like if other attacks will have different effects like that, but that's just like one example of what Awakening does. Is that what you're talking about, Sectus? Is that the skills?
Yeah. It's that system. They will be changing that somehow, but there's no details how they're gonna change it.
Okay.
That's one of the hurricanes, by the way. That's scary.
Is that
That
what
was
kills you?
on-
You said if we run into that because we approached that.
Yeah, is that the one we all
Yeah.
found? Is that the one we all found on aquamatey's boat?
No, this is another one which a party
Oh.
member swam to and died.
Oh,
And also, if you just get close-ish with your boat, like you will slowly start taking damage.
Oh, boat.
Will it kill your boat? Because I don't want my boat
Yeah,
to die.
the boat will start taking damage.
Oh,
Okay,
Jesus.
maybe that's why I stopped approaching it then.
They've also mentioned they're working on new content which is co-op oriented, but again, there's no specific details how it'll be. But that sounds interesting.
Mm.
And they will be expanding upon the hunting system. Again, no details, so who knows?
Look at that poopy little boat. Who wants that boat? You can
It's
have-
my Calfian ferry. Look at that
Aw.
guild icon. It's really cool.
Why is it a ferry? It's a rowboat. Not a ferry.
I don't know.
Oh my god, pink.
oh,
I do know though. Think pink.
Pink, pink. Is that... That's in
nice.
Heidel. Huh.
Hmm?
I was just saying there's one in Heidel.
Mhm.
There was one in Failure as well, if I remember.
I like that your character is a little Lynchy. That's Lynchy, right?
Yeah.
I like that she's just looking at them like, you can tell the look on her face is just like, I'm so pissed that my hair is not this color. I want this pink.
Oh, yeah. There we
Look at
Um,
Lynchy.
Aw.
and they mentioned that baby elephants will specialize on trading rather than fighting. I don't know a lot about the elephant system in the game. That like
Elephant?
elephants is something you will tame as a guild in Valencia, so we can't do that yet.
Oh.
But it does sound like then like big elephants will be for warfare and baby elephants you can use for trading.
I remember seeing the elephant in Calfa and I was like, I want an elephant mount now.
Wait, you mean trade the elephants themselves, or the elephants will be used for the trading mechanic?
Baby elephants will be used for trading.
Okay.
I wondered what I was looking at first.
Yeah, this is a egg behind a waterfall. They like the
Oh, you can actually see it. Yeah.
kinda, yeah.
Right.
Filtered story.
This egg hunt event was pretty fun. I think they did a really good job, like adding eggs in really fun locations, like this one behind the waterfall.
Yeah. And actually, when you come across the egg models in game, like those are actually really pretty textures. Like,
So
Right.
okay, ignore the what's that filter?
sharpening filter.
Yeah, ignore that. But when you actually see those models in game, like the eggs are pretty. They're pretty.
And they're very bouncy when you pick them up, like, I'm an egg, hello.
And then it explodes, and you get either 5 eggs or 1 egg.
Egg.
Take this.
Mhm.
Any more info?
That's it. That's all my notes. That's all the news for the Korean version and the English version.
Wow, lots of stuff.
I have a lot more screenshots, though, so we should just keep on talking.
Yes.
What-
Show
Okay.
them to us.
What do you guys think of the English version so far now, as we've played it for, like, 1.5 months? Any
I can't
questions?
really comment since I didn't really play the Korean version a whole lot, so... you
Well, I
guys
mean, what do you think of the game in general, since this is the first time you've probably played it?
go. I'm enjoying it. I mean, it's a lot better than any MMO I've ever played before.
That sounds like high praise.
Like, the combat is a lot different from any MMO you'll ever play, basically. You actually get to press things instead of just standing still pressing 1 to 9.
Yeah, the combat is definitely one of the highlights in the game, I think.
I think
Yeah.
that's where I have the most fun, just chaining combos and finding out different ways to do moves and stuff.
One thing I am really enjoying now as the game is in English is actually really focusing on all the crafting and worker stuff, because that was really hard to understand in the Korean version because of language stuff. And I've been spending a lot of time just trying to. I'm basically playing SimCity in the game right now, just making my own huge empire with the workers, like workers and crafting everything in the entire game. It's like just doing that is a lot of fun.
I love that there's so many of us doing so many different things. Like there's crazy cats just taming loads of horses, and everyone else is just crafting, and like Zale is just mixing potions and stuff. Like there's so much things in the game that you can do.
Yeah, it is like that is one aspect I really really like. There's so many things you can do. So if you so if,
I
so if
haven't
you,
even touched alchemy yet. So what?
So if this is one thing you're tired of, you could just very easily just move on to another thing and work on that for a while instead. That's
Yeah.
really neat.
Go back, go back. I even after the race, I found a cow after racing sectors. I tried to milk it. Like I didn't know I could do that.
Yeah. Yeah, there's also like small mini games here and there, like the cow milking mini game.
Oh, I also found a wheelbarrow, and I had to try and move it to an NPC. There was some random mini game, and I fell over. I didn't know what I was doing. Just pushing the wheelbarrow.
There's also a couple of things I would complain about a little bit though. For instance, like well, I mentioned this earlier. The die system needs to be changed. I think I am barely okay that you basically have to pay for dice to get them, but at the very least, just make it so that I can get specific dice when I buy them. Don't make it random, because that is a little bit frustrating.
I actually have the pink die that wagon's pink.
Yes, by the way, Sectus' hawk is called Superman. Noticed that.
Superman.
Oh hey, the text is pretty high res there.
Like, this is not such a huge deal, but I do wish the level curve was the same as the Korean version. It is very obvious they've slowed down leveling quite a bit. Like, getting to 50 is quite a lot of work compared to the Korean version, where it was rather fast.
Another thing I enjoy is that there's no fast traveling at all. Like you just go from A to B on whatever mount or running or whatever. Like before I was playing this, I was playing Star Wars: The Old Republic, and that has a heap of fast travel. Like you can just fast travel to the main hub whenever you want.
Yeah. I can also remember Guild Wars also. You could just teleport wherever, whenever, and like there's one element of convenience if you have that, but also it just makes the world feel much more alive when you have to travel everywhere.
Yeah.
It also helps that the world just looks very pretty. Like there's a lot of reasons to just go off road and just explore and like find hidden caves and everything.
I was gonna say as well, like I've just randomly bumped into guild members like Crazy Cat, Sale, or whoever, and we've gone off and done stuff just because I've bumped into them along the way.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, wait, what was I doing again?
There's my boat.
That's my horse in a boat.
Anything?
Yeah, that was your
wanna-
pre-order horse, right? That was
Yeah.
the test that you gave your pre-order horse. If it survived the boat trip around Media, it would be okay to use.
Yeah, it felt too cheated to use otherwise. Like, it was a tier 5 horse you got for free by pre-ordering the highest tier. Oh yeah, and this is the
Oh,
Pivimto
clone.
clones, which happened due to a bug. One clone is
Should
very
have
happy.
It was so happy.
That's the one that didn't. That's not actually Pivimto. This is Pivimto.
Yeah,
This is the clone that was created when he got disconnected, I think.
It's Minecraft craziness all over again.
I find it really, really, really suspicious how the clone is happy, but the real Pivimto is not that happy.
Yeah.
Maybe Vivimto is actually the clone all along. What about you, aquamatey? How do you feel about the English version?
I'm pretty happy. I think the only difference between the Korean version and the English version, well, not the only one, but something that I kind of miss about the Korean version is how friendly people were on the Korean version compared to how aggressive people are on the English version.
The
If you
gold
run into
sellers.
people, well, yeah, that too. But if you run into people, if you just want to go fight enemies in a certain area, especially once you get to level 50, like if you run into people, they are probably just gonna start attacking you if you're killing the enemies in that area. They're not gonna share with you. Like if I ran into people on the Korean version, if I just felt like doing some combat with random enemies, we could just coexist peacefully. I don't think there was ever one instance on the Korean version where another player attacked me because I was killing enemies around them. But so far, I've been attacked 2 or 3 times by other people just because I walked by
Yeah, I think
enemies that they were attacking. So that's something I kind of miss about the Korean version.
I remember Andrew saying something in the guild chat about he was just strolling along and he got attacked for no reason.
Yeah, he's had some problems with other people. Sorry, what?
These are armors which are in the Korean version, by the way, not yet in the English version.
I noticed the arm.
Yeah, that's part of the armor somehow.
Is this warrior?
That's the warrior awakened weapon, a big sword.
No more shield?
Continue. PvP, yes. Bad people, yes.
It doesn't bother me too much, but that's just something that I missed about the Korean version, that I never had to worry about that.
It kind of reminds me of when I played certain games on Xbox 360, and whenever I played with Japanese people, they were always just more polite and more friendly. I would just wonder if it's just like a difference in culture. I don't know.
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure it is, yeah.
But yeah, like that part is a bummer, and is one reason why I'm not looking forward to level 45 when PvP is enabled. Hopefully, I'll have an easy time when I get there, but we'll see.
I think the biggest point about that I want to make is that everyone should be free to play the game how they want to. Like, the game has so much to offer. PvP exists, but I don't think it should ever be forced on somebody that doesn't really want to participate in it. Like, there's so many different things that people could do. And once you hit level 45, it's very obvious that suddenly PvP is something that you're going to have to worry about. If you're going to go explore high-level areas, you're going to have to watch out for other people.
There's not even like a safe thing to turn on or anything to stop PvP?
No, like, you have the option to turn it on or off yourself once you hit 45, but other people can just freely attack you if they have it enabled once you hit 45. So that's just something that you're going to have to watch out for.
We should also mention, though, there is a pretty hefty karma penalty if you kill another player. So that's one reason why I think most people won't do it randomly. But there are those people who just doesn't care and will do it regardless.
What if you get attacked first and you kill them in retaliation?
That's something that I think they need to change, because there's a lot of people abusing that system right now. Like, they will attack you, and then they'll run away and like remove the PvP tag themselves. So if you want to kill them, you have to turn PvP on yourself, and you'll be the one taking the karma hit. And it's pretty quick that their PvP tag can be removed.
Yeah, I've also heard people trying a trick where they will find people fighting like really tough monsters. They will like hurt that player badly and then try to withdraw, so the monsters will get the kill rather than the player killer.
I guess I'll need some sort of cooldown thing on that tag you mentioned.
I'm not sure what's the best solution.
I like that costume, by the way, and that staff.
So, you can freely attack anyone, right?
Anyone who's above level 45, for 45 or above.
What does that PvP tag thing do then?
This is a new pet, by the way.
What? That's a pet?
Yeah.
Oh,
That's adorable.
These outfits do look pretty spiffy and fancy.
I'm not usually a fan of yellow and orange colors on like, aesthetically. I don't really like it that much, but the way they do this one, look how silky and smooth these little things look. I don't know what they are, but like, I like that. It's okay. You can wear that, and I will not.
And even if you hate the colors, you have dyes.
Oh.
I was just gonna say that. Don't worry, for $50 you can spend RNG trying to get the right color.
Boobies.
Wait, is that a thong?
What?
Is that a G-string or something?
To be honest, I don't think I can name a single thing on this entire outfit.
That's a good point.
It's
But
a cool outfit, though.
I am really liking some of the most recent designs they've been adding to the Korean shop.
Is this fur? Is this like... It's supposed to be like... Kind of looks like polar bear fur.
Oh, I remember seeing this I remember mentioning the fishies in another podcast.
Yeah, I think we had concept art of this before.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
pretty.
Again, I want that art book. I want to look at all the concept art.
I like the gradient of darker blue to lighter blue down here.
I
Yeah,
wonder how-
I like an art book.
I wonder how that gradient would be dyed.
Hmm.
That's a good point.
I wonder if it's like separate.
I don't think so. I think that's the same
Hmm.
section.
Maybe it just gets lighter as it goes down.
Would be cool if these are two different colors and they will they will fade between them.
Is that the elf you mentioned that won't be in thing?
No.
English
I
version?
don't have any pictures of the Mai Shiranui
Oh.
outfit here. But it basically looks like Mai from the King of Fighters series, and that is only available in the Japanese version of Black Desert.
Did you do a video on that, or was it just a screenshot I saw?
I have a video of it on my YouTube channel, so people can look at it and be jealous and sad that we won't ever get it, which is sad. But again, like it's kind of understandable because IPs, it's not an easy thing to figure out. There are contracts, there's papers, there's lawyers. It's not an easy thing to figure out.
Yeah.
I know.
Ooh. Hi, Ninja.
Ninja.
Ninja's coming in May, you said?
Yeah. I'm assuming it'll be mid-April for Blader and mid-May for Ninja.
Well, it's
Do-
the 9th now, so hopefully not too long.
Do you think people will stick to calling him Blader, or will they actually get used to the official English name Musa?
I'll probably still call him Blader even now.
I'll probably keep calling him later, too. Maybe I'll switch. I don't know.
The big mystery.
I'll call him Plum.
Yeah, I'll call female Blader Plum. I like Plum.
Plum.
I have no idea how to pronounce the official name of the female Blader. It's Ma-Ewa, something like that. It's I don't know. I just want to finish by saying we are still playing the game way too much, and if people want to join our guild, they can feel free to do so. We're on the Cruxus, European Cruxus server, so if people want to join, just let me know on YouTube, Twitch, in the game, wherever.
And if anyone is stuck on the North American servers, just get in contact with me, and we can overtake the Clown Guild, and we will kill Sectus, and we'll move everyone to North America, and don't worry, we'll be fine.
What?
Blasphemy.
What?
But yes, exciting things about Black Desert to come, so bye-bye, peeps.
Bye.
Yay!
Bye bye.